Hello and welcome to Wow Embossing YouTube channel. My name is Aditi and I am back with mixed media inspiration for y'all. Today I am creating this pastel spring inspired mixed media tag and I am using some of the Alexandra Renke dies along with the Wow Alex Syberia trio set, which is delicate blooms. It has this pastel pink, teal and a nice yellow, and what I have done here is just cut out a large tag and mounted that on some chipboard. I have pre-cut all the die elements that I want to use, and these are some modern abstract florals. So I am going to be embossing the outline of all these florals with opaque bright white embossing powder, with just the inner petals with the three colors of embossing powder in the trio. So first, using the pastel pink, I am applying embossing ink from my ink pad and sprinkling the embossing powder and then just heat setting that. I actually end up heat setting everything once and for all at the end. So sprinkling the teal for the next flower, and then I go in with yellow for my third flower. So having added all the embossing powder on the petals, I am then just quickly embossing the outlines with opaque bright white like I mentioned before, and this will just bring a nice delicate touch to our abstract flowers, and that is what makes this die set unique. The petals don't exactly fit right in between, but are just abstract, creating a nice shape, a modern look. So with embossing powder on all the elements, I am just heat setting that to color everything and make sure all the powder is set. And I do this on the second heat setting of the Wow heat tool. And once I'm happy, once everything is heat set, I am going to begin by building my background. So I am using distress oxides in scattered straw, evergreen bow, spun sugar, and lost shadow, just coordinated with my palette. To begin with, on a piece of acetate, I am smooshing lost shadow and misting that with water and just smooshing that onto my cardstock to get a nice first layer of color down in place. I then use the Lots of Dots stencil from Wow and add the three colors that I have chosen for the distress oxide. So a pastel pink, a pastel teal, and then a yellow, coordinated with the embossing powders that I had chosen earlier. So just randomly adding texture on the tag, this is helping me build a little more interest on the background and tinting it and coloring it to make sure that there is something going on there before I lay around my focal elements. So once I have added the dots, I am going to use lost shadow and just distress the edges of the tag. Later I do go in with spun sugar again to distress the tag, because I felt like with that gray a little bit of a pink helps. Next, I am using the same stencil Lots of Dots but adding embossing paste through it randomly, and over that I am sprinkling the squid sparkles from Wow and letting that dry. So with this I have a little element of glitter, sparkle and shine on my background, and that just enhances and adds more texture and more interest on this tag. So just keeping it pastel, I am building light layers, nothing too dark, nothing too bright, yet bringing in that element of sparkle and shine. With all of that done now, I am roughly just deciding on a composition of how the floral bouquet should look like. And once I know everything looks good, I am going to first add in some black splatter. This will make all the colors pop, just adds a little element of contrast and creates further interest and texture for our tag. So once I'm happy with that, I will start assembling all the elements. Now just on the petal layers, I am going to use foam tape to sort of bring in depth and dimension. And I will adhere those and then adhere the layer, the outline layer of the flower with liquid glue over these. So I will have these flowers with a little depth and dimension on the tag. I do use liquid glue even on the foam tape just to make sure everything stays in place, since we have a lot of texture paste also in the background. I don't want these flowers to be falling out of my tag later on. So just building on the composition, nothing fancy, adding the petals here and there, overlapping the layers, creating a nice floral bouquet with these die cut elements. I am just adhering everything down in place. Once I am happy with the elements, all I do is add in a phrase to complete the tag and add meaning. So with that done, I have also just added some ribbons at the top and my tag is now complete. That is a look at the pastel, subtle spring texture and vibe that the tag brings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until the next time, take care and bye-bye.